All right. Well, as I promised yesterday, and as I just tweeted on the old Twitter, the starting song of the day this morning was "Lift Me Up" by Yes from the album Union from 1991. And actually, that 1991 release date narrows down a time frame for me on this story that I got a little bit wrong last time. Came out in 91, which would be my summer. Basically, this story takes place this summer of my first year of college. So I come back from college, and I'm staying at my dad and stepmom's house in my old room, which overlooks our street, residential street in Seattle. And I was doing a lot of writing at the time, and I would write and listen to music, and somehow I was able to write while singing and write while listening to music. And my computer was set up next to the window, and I fell in love with this song that I just played on the starting song of the day, "Lift Me Up" by Yes. And when I get obsessed with a song, kind of still, but especially then, and I see it in my daughter, my kids now both kind of have this trait as well. Maybe just humans do who love music, but I would just I'd put one song I was obsessed with on repeat on my headphones, and this was my current obsession. And I also kept very weird hours. I was like working a food service job, which if you've never done, I feel like everybody should work food service for at least a summer in their life. And so I was finishing work late and then coming home and writing. And this would be in like the middle of the week, so this is like Wednesday evening or whatever. And I was doing some writing. It was probably 2, 3 in the morning at that point, and I put this song on and just started put it on loop, because I kind of get zoned in, like actually just maybe that's how I can do it, by just having one song. It becomes muscle memory in my brain, and I can like sing and listen to the music while still giving enough focus to write or whatever. And I'm just happy. I'm in the zone, man. I don't know how long I was gone in that zone, in the writing zone, just dumping words on the table and singing by my desk side. And then eventually something disrupts me, takes me out of the zone, and it's my dad at the door. And I'm 19, he's groggy and annoyed and has the WTF look on his face. And it's like 3 in the morning at this point, and he's like, the neighbors called. They say it sounds like you're practicing a song, like maybe you're writing a song and like you're practicing it or something, and they really want you to stop singing. And I had just been in this zone, and of course it's like there's no air conditioning in Seattle residences for the most part, and it's the middle of the summer, and so I had the window up, and I just did that thing where my room is somehow soundproof, right? Like I can be as loud in my room as I want, and it won't matter. And I suddenly realized that I had been singing probably, who knows, how long would you wait before calling your neighbor to explain that their child is keeping you up at 3 in the morning on a Wednesday? And I don't know. And here's the thing. A couple of things I realized since realizing I was going to retell this story. First, this song has a 45-second musical outro and a 1 minute and 20-second musical intro. So between each rendition of this song, my neighbors had a precious 2 minutes wondering if it was over, wondering if they could go back to sleep now. But that tense hope I'm sure they felt, putting their heads back on their pillow and just like wait, your internal clock kind of knows when the 2 minutes is up, and it's like, is he done? Maybe he's done. Maybe he's done. Look around, anyway. And then the other thing I realized is the neighbors that called, like in my head, I woke up that neighbor, but they're just the first neighbor that that called my dad. Like, I was belting this out at the top of my lungs at an open window at 3 a.m. in a quiet residential neighborhood in Seattle. I'm sure I was putting on a show for a dozen, if not dozens. So I sheepishly stopped singing the song, took it off of shuffle, and I think went to bed. But realizing that I had just serenaded my neighborhood to Yes on repeat for probably an hour plus ranks among my most embarrassing moments. Yeah. So that's the story of Lift Me Up.